Welcome back. In the uh, art of protecting secrets, we have seen the cryptographic or crypto technology. In that, we find two different cryptographic methods are there: one public encryption and private encryption. And we have seen that how important about the key management for exchanging. So now, how to control, how to protect the secrets by following certain access control. So there are various types of access controls are there that we'll try to discuss one by one. The first one is the physical access control. So the physical access controls are the actual barriers deployed to prevent direct contact with systems. The goal is to prevent unauthorized users from gaining physical access to the facilities, endpoints, and other organization assets. So the physical access control determines who can enter or exit the property, where they can enter or exit. First one is who can enter or exit, where they can enter or exit, and when they can enter or exit. So the examples of physical access controls, which includes some of the following, but not limited one. First one is the guards, and the guards monitor the facilities. And second one is fences to protect the perimeter, and the motion detectors that detect the moving objectives, and the laptop locks that safeguard the portable equipment of an organization, and locked doors that prevent the unauthorized access, and swipe cards allows access to restricted areas, and you can find the guard dogs to protect the facility, and video cameras that monitor a facility by collecting and recording the images, and you can find the man traps that allow access to the secured area after door one is closed after door one is closed, and you can find the alarms that detect the intrusions, right? So these are some the physical access controls. Okay, and the next one is the type of the logical access controls. What is physical? Another type is logical access control. So the logical access controls are the hardware and software solutions used to manage access to resources and systems. So these technology based solutions include tools and protocols that computer systems use for identification, authentication, authorization, and accountability. Authorization and accountability. So the logical access control includes, the following. These are: one is the encryption, is the process of taking plain text and create a ciphertext, as we just discussed. So encryption is the process of taking the message that is easily readable by anyone and encoded it to it so that only the authorized users can read it. So operating systems offer encryption features to encrypt devices such as a hard drive. So Apple built the encryption into the hardware and the firmware of its iPads and iPhones, whereas your smart cards have an embedded microchip. So the smart cards have an embedded microchip that can communicate with the host computer or card reader. Whereas your password, the logical access control, the password is a protected string of characters used to authenticate a user. So a password is the most common method used for authentication. And you have the biometric analyze users physical characteristics to verify their identity. So it is the most accurate method for identification or identification verification, but it is also the most expansive method. Whereas your access control list, ACL, can define and control different types of traffic on a network device to meet specific security requirements. And ACL is a sequential list of permit or deny statements that filter traffic based on certain criteria, such as the source or destination IP addresses. And then you may find the protocols also. The authentication protocols transfer authentication data between two objects, such as a client and a server. So there are protocols that validate the identity of remote clients, like point to point protocols such as password authentication protocol, PAP, or challenge handshake authentication protocol, CHAP. Challenge handshake authentication protocol. So there are more complex protocols used in large networks for verifying authentication, authorization, and accounting. Sometimes we call it as AAA, triple A protocols, triple A architecture protocols, such as your the TAC ACS plus and your the radius, which we already discussed in previous lectures. So Kerberos is a centralized network authentication system used in many operating systems, whereas your firewalls prevents undesirable traffic from entering an area within a network. So a firewall enforces an access control policy between networks. Another logical access control is routers. So as we know, the routers connect at least two networks with either a wired or wireless connection. A router determines the next point that a data packet needs to take to get the packet to its final destination. An edge router is the last router between the internal network and the internet, and untrusted network. So routers can function as the first and last line of defense of a network. And finally, you have the intrusion detection system. An intrusion detection system is a device or software application that monitors either a network or a system for suspicious activities. An intrusion detection system also provides notification that an event occurred. And most important one is clipping level. A system has a certain threshold for specific errors or mistakes allowed before triggering a red flag. Users will make mistakes, but will they try to log in to the network 100 times at 2 a.m.? So these are the some of the logic access controls, which can secure your hardware and software, or which can provide the hardware and software solutions. So the next another type of control is, first we have seen the physical access control, the logical access control, and you will have the administrative access control. The third one is, so in this administrative access control, these are the policies and procedures defined by any organization to implement and enforce all their employees or staff, all aspects of controlling unauthorized access. So, this administrative controls focus on the personal and business practice, uh, So the administrative controls that includes the policies, procedures, hiring practices, and background checks, your data classification, security training, and reviews. So, in these policies are the statement of intent, procedures are the detailed steps required to perform an activity, where hiring practice involves the steps an organization takes to find qualified employees, and background check or and these are an employment screening that includes information of past employment verification, credit history, and criminal history, whereas your data classification uh, that categorize data based on its sensitivity, whereas your security training educates the employees about the security policies at an organization, and the reviews evaluate an employee's job performance. So these are the administrative access controls. So then we'll try to see what are the access control strategies are there, what are the different access control strategies are there, that we'll discuss in the next video.